My sister asked about weight loss injections in front of my boyfriend, not because she needed medical advice, because she wanted me to know she still saw me as the girl who should feel lucky anyone wanted her. I'm 27. My boyfriend Caleb is 26. We have been together for almost a year. Before him, I spent most of my adult life acting like I did not care what men thought of me. That was partly true. I was tired of being approached in public, tired of men stopping me on the street, tired of workers slipping me numbers when I was just trying to buy something, tired of people acting like my existence outside my house was an invitation. I know that sounds like a strange complaint. Some people think attention is flattering. For me, it became exhausting. I started wearing headphones everywhere, oversized hoodies, plain clothes, no makeup. It did not matter. Someone always found a reason to comment, stare, follow, or ask for my number. And if I looked uncomfortable, they acted offended. So by the time I met Caleb, I already had walls. We first talked online, not on a dating app. Just a campus forum where people posted anonymously. For 3 days, we talked constantly. Movies, food, families, weird childhood stories. The kind of conversation that feels easier because neither person knows what the other looks like. He was awkward but sweet. He admitted he had almost no dating experience. He also told me he had spent years using porn as a substitute for real intimacy and did not know how that had affected his expectations. I appreciated the honesty. Then we exchanged photos. He saw my face and apologized. That was his first reaction, an apology. Then he said he did not think he was attracted to me, especially my face. I remember staring at my phone, not crying, just going cold. I told him it was fine. It was not fine. But I wanted to act like the kind of woman who could handle rejection gracefully. We kept talking anyway. I should have stopped. I know that now. A few days later, we met in person because he had meal credits expiring and needed help packing his apartment. It was supposed to be casual, friendly, no expectations. Then, after an hour of me helping him clean, he looked at me and said, "You're prettier in person." I laughed because I did not know what else to do. He said he meant it. He said the pictures were bad. He said he had been nervous. He said he did not really know how attraction worked when it involved someone real. That sentence should have scared me more than it did. By the end of that night, we were sitting on his floor watching horror movies. He asked if we could cuddle. I said no at first. Then I said yes, because I liked him, because I wanted to believe him, because part of me wanted to prove that the first rejection was just a mistake. That is the uncomfortable truth. Caleb did not force me into anything, but the rejection stayed in the room with us. Every compliment after that had to fight through the first thing he ever said about my face. When we officially started dating, he tried. He really did. He was gentle, patient, thoughtful. He remembered small things. He listened when I talked. But he was bad at compliments, almost painfully bad. He would say I looked nice, or that my smile was good. Never beautiful, never gorgeous. Never the kind of specific, effortless praise I had heard from men I trusted less than him. I hated that this mattered to me, because I did not want to be dependent on male approval. But it did matter, especially after how things started. Then my sister Elise made everything worse. Elise is 41, 14 years older than me. She helped raise me in some ways, so our relationship has always been complicated. She can be protective. She can be generous. She can also be cruel in a way that sounds casual if you are not the person being cut. The first time she met Caleb, she looked him up and down and said, "Well, you're a keeper." Then she looked at me and added, "Where did you find him?" Caleb laughed politely. I smiled, but I understood what she meant. She was surprised someone like him was with someone like me. Over the next few months, she kept doing it. Small comments, always in front of him. "You're brave wearing that color. Your gray hairs are coming in early. Are those pants comfortable or just optimistic?" Then she would laugh like it was nothing. Caleb noticed. At first, he tried to see the good in her. He said maybe she did not mean it that way. I wanted to believe that. Then came the beach day. We went with Elise and her daughter. I wore a one-piece swimsuit with shorts over it. Nothing revealing, nothing dramatic. I was already anxious. Then Elise turned to me in front of Caleb and asked, Do you know anything about those weight loss injections? I froze. She kept going. A lot of women are taking them now. I heard they work really fast. I said, no idea. She said, really? I thought you would have looked into it. Caleb looked at me, then at her. I said, ask your friends if you're curious. She smiled and said, I was just making conversation. I said, no, you were making a point. The air changed immediately. Elise said I was being sensitive. I said, you asked about weight loss drugs while looking at my body in front of my boyfriend. She said, that's not what happened. I said, it is exactly what happened. For once, Caleb spoke up. He said, that was uncomfortable. Elise looked offended. Then she said, oh, so now I'm the villain? I said, no, you're the sister who keeps humiliating me and calling it concern. She grabbed her towel and walked away. My niece followed her. Caleb and I stayed there in silence. Then he said, I'm sorry I didn't say something sooner. I said, me too. That answer surprised him, but it was true, because I had spent months waiting for him to defend me while also not fully believing he wanted me. That was unfair to both of us. Later that night, he came over. I told him the truth. All of it. I told him that I still thought about the first time he saw my face. I told him that every weak compliment felt like confirmation that he had settled. I told him that when my sister made comments, I wondered if she was saying what everyone else was too polite to say. Caleb looked devastated. He said, I wish I could take that back. I said, you can't. He said, I was inexperienced and stupid. I said, I know. He said, so what do we do? I said, I need you to stop treating attraction like a puzzle you're still solving. He asked what that meant. I said, if you are with me, be with me. Do not make me feel like a maybe. He cried. I almost did too. But I had one more thing to say. I told him I could handle being rejected. I could handle being single. I could handle men on the street being disgusting. What I could not handle was being in a relationship where I still felt like I was auditioning for desire. Update 1. I stopped seeing Elise for a while. She told my mother I embarrassed her at the beach. My mother said I should apologize because Elise has always been there for me. I said, being there for me does not give her permission to cut me down. My mother did not like that. That is fine. Update 2. Caleb has been trying. Not perfectly, but noticeably. He compliments me more specifically now. Not in a forced way. At least not usually. Last week, he told me he loved the way I looked when I was concentrating on painting my nails because I made the same serious face every time. That meant more to me than you're pretty, because it sounded like he was actually seeing me. Update 3. We are still together, but I am slower now. Slower to trust. Slower to offer access to the softest parts of me. I do not think that is punishment. I think it is caution. I know some people will say I should have blocked Caleb after the first rejection. Maybe they are right. Some will say Elise was just concerned. I do not believe that anymore. Concern does not need an audience, and love should not feel like being measured in front of someone else. I am tired of people acting like my body, my face, and my relationship are public property. And I am tired of pretending words do not count just because the person saying them claims they meant well. Maybe Caleb and I will last. Maybe we will not. But I know this now. I would rather be alone than spend another year wondering if the person beside me secretly agrees with everyone who tried to make me feel lucky to be chosen.